Welcome back to my House to Home series where I share with you DIY projects that I did to make my new house feel like home. Today I'm going to be sharing with you all how I breathed life back into this dining room set that my mom found for me on Craigslist with the help of my aunt and uncle. So let's get into it. The dining room set was real cherry oak wood. It just needed some repairing. It had a lot of scratches, what looked like to be bite marks from animals on the feet, and it was a bit sticky in some places. The chairs had the scratches and stickiness as well. The plastic on the chairs was cloudy, and the fabric on the inside was dirty as well. How? I don't know, but they definitely had to go. To begin, we unscrewed all of the cushions from the chairs and pulled out additional fabric that had been stapled into the wood with some pliers. It was very important to remove any stray staples as well. We took some soap and the scoring pad of some sponges to clean the stickiness off of the chairs and tables before we started doing anything else. After everything was clean and dry, it was time to sand. For the chairs, it was more of a spot job. Anywhere we saw significant scratches, we used sanding paper to smooth them out, and then we wiped off the excess dust. As for the table, we did the same on the legs and the feet, and we just did our best to smooth out all the teeth marks left by whatever animal the previous owner had. For the tabletop, we tried to use just the sanding paper alone, but there were a number of deep scratches that just wouldn't smooth out evenly. I was able to borrow an electric sander from one of the members of my church, and I bought two types of sanding sheets to use on it. The first was coarse to do the initial sanding, and a finer paper to smooth everything out. After using the electric sander, we wiped off all the excess dust with a lightly damp t-shirt before it was time to start staining. For the stain, we ended up only using the American chestnut gloss on the left. We did not paint in spots. We stained each chair fully, and we did the same for the tabletop and its legs and feet. We did one thick coat on the chairs and the legs of the tables, which surprisingly worked for us. As for the tabletop, we did multiple light coats and let them fully dry in between. The next step was reupholstering the dining room chairs. I found a fabric that I liked in the home decor section of a local fabric store. I cut squares about 3/4 of a yard for each cushion, just to make sure I was not underestimating. On the old cushions, I removed the plastic covers only. I placed the whole cushion upside down on the wrong side of the new fabric and pulled tightly over the edges. This part is extremely fiddly, so it really helps to have an extra set of hands to assist. While holding the fabric top, I stapled the fabric in place onto the wood backing of the cushion. The more staples, the better. Just make sure to watch your fingers. Around the corners, it was easiest to fold the fabric in on itself to give it a miter feel and keep it from being too bulky. Because I measured so generously, I had a lot of excess fabric to cut. I simply cut the fabric about 1 inch away from the staples. As I mentioned earlier, it is better to have more staples than less, because when you cut the excess fabric, the stapled fabric starts to relax, and where there aren't enough staples, it will start to loosen up. It's no biggie, just add another staple or a couple of staples and keep cutting. To reattach the cushions to the chairs, you will have to screw them back in with a screwdriver and long screws. I figured out which part of the cushion was the front and the back and laid it on the chair. Then I turned the chair upside down to screw the screws back into the existing holes of the wooden backing. Once the cushions were reattached, we were done, and we ended up with this. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed the end result. And check out my house to home playlist to see what other projects I've done. If you want to see more in the future, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any more videos. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.